this guy is asking for verification of a guy named James Tucker. He has a podcast called The Vault of Nightmares. Claims he was a pallbearer for Chris Kyle's funeral. Okay, dude. And he worked with Blackwater. And while deployed to Iraq, he would shoot people for no reason. He says he enjoyed it. He further states he was selected during basic training in the Marine Corps for a special monster hunting task force to kill werewolves.
He wants you to verify that?
Well, that's where I draw the line. Okay, I don't even have to check on this dude. There is no Marine Corps unit tasked with hunting werewolves.
Been pretty hectic. A list is trying to just sort things out and see what the total effect of this tragedy is going to be.
How are the Marines taking it?
I think they're taking it pretty well, better than you might normally think. This is a significant blow to us, but everyone is just been working very hard trying to get the situation straightened out.
How do you handle the threat to your life?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I don't think about it.
Name's Daryl Edwards, U.S. Navy, 1980 through 1995. We ended up in Lebanon during the Lebanon Civil War. I was buried in the building that was blown up. After 3 days, we were rescued out of that building, and I received a medal for that, for surviving. I'm most proud of helping other individuals to just make it through whatever we're going through.
The Beirut bombing happened October 23rd, 1983, and he enlisted May 8th, 1984. He was not even in the military when the Beirut bombing happened. He did not go to the Naval Academy. He was not a commissioned officer. Does not have a Silver Star, those Bronze Stars, and a couple of Purple Hearts. And who the fuck gets a Silver Star for being buried alive in the Beirut bombing? That is an award for valor. There's nothing, it didn't happen. It's none of it. And he is down there lying to those people and allowing them to stand him up in front of all those people and cheer him for shit he never was even in the military for. And then to parade around in his dress choker whites that he bought off of the internet, bought those awards, bought that trident, parade around in that for his wife and daughter that never happened, and then to give his trident to a pastor. Now, ain't that some shit? I am a lying ass motherfucker. Lie. And I'm going to give this to a religious guy, a pastor. I've seen it all before. Those guys drive me absolutely batshit fucking stark raving mad over that because people believe that. Oh, he's a Christian man. He's a holy man. He would never lie, and the fuck he wouldn't. The fuck he wouldn't. Good morning. This is Don.
Hey, Don. How you doing? It's Daryl Edwards.
Oh, my. It's going to be a big Navy day today, I think. I am going to interview David Thistle. You've probably never heard of him. He's a former Navy guy. He's running for president. And did it in 2016, and he's running again this year.
That's something. So he's running for what? He's running for president?
Yes, he's done it twice, but he's probably just, we'll see what happens, but you probably never heard of that guy. But he's running up there as a Democrat, former Navy guy. How about that?
That's very cool. You know, anytime that we can get out of the service and then be a contributing factor to our community is a great thing. You know, even if we're shooting in the dark where it's like a David and Goliath thing. You never know. God can make anything possible, man. You never know.
Navy time. What made you decide? There's anybody else in your family military before you?
Yeah, my father was in the Navy.
Oh, my. Well, what did he do?
Yeah. My father, I think he was a bosun's mate.
Is your father still alive?
Oh, thanks, but no. You know, he passed away about 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. Did
wonderful
that
man, a pastor in upstate New York, raised 7 children.
Did that inspire you to go in the military?
I will say on the back end, yes. What I was trying to do, actually, I was trying to get into college. But my family, my father has had 7 kids, and My mother and father went through a divorce, which kind of set me back a little bit. And my last couple years in high school, I didn't do that well, so I had very few options. And when I went out into the world to try to make my way in the world, it was like, oh wow, this is a very harsh world, coming from Schenectady, New York, where people were pretty nice. And then I ended up in some cities like L.A. and New York, and finding out the harsh realities of just our communities and, you know, opportunities. I said, you know what, I think I need to go in the service. So I signed up to go in the Navy.
Wow, fantastic. Let's get into that. It sounded like the video clip I saw, you had several promotions.
Yeah, you know, what I like to do, I like to keep it, for me, a little bit safe, because a lot of my friends that have gotten out of the service and that have done big interviews and books and things like that, they're not around anymore. And I think that contributed to their demise. I've had a friend that, you know, he did a book tour, and then after his book tour was shot, you know, from somebody from another country. So what I try to do, I try to safeguard my family by not divulging a lot of things I did in the service, because we, just like we have heroes among us, our enemies are among us too here in America.
Oh, I agree.
That's always been my take on it. The only reason that I did that video for is because I felt like it would inspire people that were going through cancer. But I've had people ask me to do interviews over the last 15, 18 years regarding my military service, and I don't know if you noticed on that video, I kept it very generic.
Understandable. Well, do you have, when we talk about Beirut, that was a gruesome incident.
Yeah, I ended up there by happenstance. I was on the USS Detroit, and we were docked there, and I actually went in because I teach martial arts, and they wanted me to go in to just do some fun classes for some of the guys that were some Marines, and I ended up in that building. That's how I ended up in that building.
But he claims that because of his martial arts background, that they sent him in to train Marines in the barracks there.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Marines do their own training, and they're good at what they do.
So the Marines don't need any Navy personnel to teach them martial arts?
Well, I think they learn that a lot in basic. They learn that beyond. They go on. They go on as classes, more school, more training, and more combat training. And these guys were, they're infantrymen, grunts, and I've seen them at work. They're good.
My gosh, can you take us through what happened that day?
Yeah, a little bit. I was actually playing around with one of my friends, and that's when the truck hit, I guess. And then over the next 3 days, I was in total darkness with 2 other guys, and my father did some general contracting work. So I knew a little bit about construction and wet walls. So I actually found the wet wall and found the pipe and broke the pipe and kept us alive with the water. So that's why I got a medal for that.
What kind of award was that?
Yeah, well, I got a Purple Heart for that, and then I got a Silver Star for that.
Oh my gosh, how about that? Amazing, amazing. And
hey, thanks.
I saw that the end of the clip. Now there was a lot of guys that died in there. Terrible tragedy.
Yeah, terrible.
And then,
83, and then the sad thing, we didn't respond to that. There was no real response in Lebanon to that. What was it? The USS New Jersey was off the coast. We did a couple salves of bombings, but we didn't really do much
And
That was sad.
what was the date? When was that incident? When did you join the Navy?
1980.
Oh, fantastic. And
Yeah.
at the end of it, it looked like you had gone from that to an officer. You were an enlisted guy.
Yeah, I was enlisted, and I got capped, and they sent me to Annapolis.
CAP stands for Command Advancement Program. That is not a program that you get turned into an officer. I've capped a number of my younger SEALs that struggled to make rank because we were in a SEAL job. We were SEALs back then were gunner's mates, hull technicians, bosun's mates, you name it, they were that. But they only knew about SEAL stuff. So sometimes it was hard for them to advance. And we would put them in for the Command Advancement Program, the real standouts, an enlisted program to take them from E4 to E5 or however. It was not an officer program. He did not go to the Naval Academy. He does not have a Silver Star, those Bronze Stars, and a couple of Purple Hearts. And who the fuck gets a Silver Star for being buried alive in the Beirut bombing?
And I spent some time there, and then I ended up doing some other things throughout the country. I was in Kuwait City for a while, and a couple other things. But yeah, did a lot of things in the military, but I don't like to focus on the past. Sorry about that. I like to focus on what I'm doing now for individuals. Me and my wife, we've been able to sponsor over 300 kids to get into college, and I was never able to go to school. So we have 300 kids in college that have gone to college.
As a young sailor to a young officer, Naval Academy graduate, and became a SEAL.
Well, yeah, but I like to keep that kind of,
I get you.
I don't like to talk about that at all. I'm sorry about that.
I bet.
One of my friends, and that's what I'm alluding to, friends that went on a book tour. He did a book tour, and a couple months later after that book tour was shot by some guy that fantasized about him and whatever. So I have a beautiful wife and I have a beautiful daughter, and I like to keep them safe. And I think to keep them safe is to keep that kind of under wraps the most as much as I can. They actually got that picture not from me, but they got that picture from that they used somewhere else, because I actually gave my Budweiser away to someone, to my pastor. I gave it away. So amazing. It's not something that I lean to anymore, because I'm a Christian man.
Completely understand. Completely understand. So how did the whole heroes thing with the Panthers come about?
I actually do some events for them. Like, I raise money for them, and I help them out with different toy drive. UM said to me, they said, "Oh, Daryl, you were in the military, weren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, we'd like to honor you. So can we send you to the Panthers? And the Panthers would like to honor you. We do this a couple times a year. So we were wondering if you'd like to be a part of this." And I said, "Anything to help you guys out." So that's how I ended up there.
Wow, that's fantastic. And a deep Christian background in your family. It must have been quite something to get out on center ice and be hailed a hero out there.
Wow, it was amazing. And the only thing that I didn't get to do is to give all glory to God and Jesus Christ, because He is an amazing God, and He has saved me, and I know He saved me for a reason. I'm talking to you right now, and I know He saved me for a reason. There has to be a reason why He saved me, so that's why I'm giving back now.
Well, that's an inspiring story, an amazing one, and when that video came out, as well as CBS Miami and all that, it caught a lot of mileage, and that was sent to me. And
really?
I checked your name in the SEAL database, and there was no listing of you ever being a Navy SEAL.
No. No, you won't see it.
Why would that be?
Because I know how to take care of stuff like that.
Oh, classified stuff, your service?
Yeah, I know how to take care of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And when did you get out of the Navy?
95.
How about it? I've got your dates of service. It's May 8th, 1984 to May 22nd, 1992. There's a PM3 on the USS Detroit and Connecticut is where you were separated.
Yep.
Yeah? When did that officer thing come all up?
Like I said, I know how to take care of stuff.
Yeah, and so do I, David. I'm a Daryl, retired Navy SEAL up here. And that got sent to me. I pulled your records, and they double went over. There was no officer or anything. 92, May 92 was the end of it. There was no Beirut. There was no Silver Stars. So a couple of those pictures, you're wearing Bronze Stars, a couple of Purple Hearts, sir, and doing that Christian man thing and taking center stage as a hero out there. That's not cool.
And see, that's why I deleted some of my records, because I know there's people like you out there.
Deleted them from the National Personnel Record Center? I'll tell you what, that ain't though. If you think you can hear that computer humming behind me, you ain't heard nothing humming yet. I completely go nuts over guys like that. Because it's all the Christian faith and his family and all those people down there, everyone believing him to have been buried alive in the Beirut bombing that took the lives of 241 sailors and Marines. And that's him right there. Have a great day. I tell you, I am going to, and I'm going to figure, whoosh, just like a fucking jungle cat. And that Christian bullshit, that God, Christian, all this stuff, and this cancer survivor and all the hard work that he's doing down there is when he lies to those people about that, then you got to wonder about everything else in his life and what else is he lying about. I see he got a 2001 conviction for burglary and battery, and he's a peach. He's quite something, but he lied about the dates of his service to coincide with Beirut, and he did not enlist in 1980. He enlisted in, 1984. 1984, he enlisted.